Mr. B's Art Room.
Hey PB artists, I'm going to go through today and show you the repeated word design project. We're going to start with a basic piece of computer paper. We're going to turn this into a square. I'm going to pretend like I'm folding this all the way over, and then I am going to use a pencil and mark on that paper where I would cut the extra off. That will give me a nice square piece of paper. So you would take a scissors cut that. I'm going to take that square piece of paper, fold it in half once, then fold it in half a second time. Then you're going to take the corner and you're going to fold the corner to the opposite corner. Alright, now once you have the triangle created, you're going to take a pencil and you're going to draw a word that goes from end to end, and you want to make sure that it is touching on either side, going from end to end. Okay, once you have your triangle, you're going to create the design. So think of a positive word that you would like to use, and you are going to make it a block letter design, making sure that the letters touch from one edge to the other edge. So I'm going to go with the word love. And I'm making this just a block design. And this kind of fits right here with this dip down into the end here. Actually, I think I'm going to change this up a little bit here. I'm going to just have this go right off the page in this corner. And then I'm going to have this E go all the way down. Now you might have some negative space here, in which case you can fill it with designs. I'm going to add some little hearts, but I'm going to leave the bottom unfinished. Okay, so now I have my design. Now you want to go over your letters so they are super dark with your pencil. And this way we'll be able to see them a little bit easier. Okay, the next step is after you have that finished, you're going to open this up and you're going to be transferring this design to the opposite side. So to do that, I have to make sure that I am folding this so that this part of the design is being transferred to the other side. So I'm going to fold it back, and you should be able to see with your paper right through it. If you push down hard enough, you'll see the little lines of where the design are. When we transfer, we want to make sure that the pencil of the design is on the top and that the blank paper is on the bottom. We're going to transfer this design just by tracing over on top of the lines that I see through that paper. Be sure that you are going over those same lines, otherwise the design will not transfer to the other section. Okay, I'll wait for it. This is the cool thing. If I now open this up, you'll see that design has been transferred to the other side. Wow, amazing. So I'm going to go over this and connect all of these so that this design becomes symmetrical. Now, this kind of design is just like when you create a snowflake, where you fold it all up and then you cut out different pieces. So you'll see, if I turn this around, over here is where I initially wrote my word love, and you'll see that it becomes more of an abstract design. The way that I would then get that design into all the sections would be to make sure that I am folding it on all those creases, making sure that the pencil part is on the inside and the blank part is on the bottom. So I'm going to repeat tracing this multiple times. Now, if this is too confusing for you, instead of folding it into a triangle, you can just fold it into a square. And then you can do your design just using a square. For example, I have another one here that I just folded up 4 times, and I drew the word create going all the way across. I did the same thing just by folding it so that the pencil was on the inside, tracing over all the lines that I see through the back side of the paper, which transfers that design into the other section. Eventually, when you get done, the entire paper should be filled with this one word, but in all these 4 sections. Okay, so when I am done transferring all of that design into all 4 sections, and my paper is completely filled up, what I need to do is I'm going to look at my principles and elements of art, which are line, shape, color, pattern, texture, repetition, balance, space, form. So you want to look at all those, and you want to focus on 3 elements that you are going to use to add something to this artwork. So for example, you could use texture. So here's an example of texture where I am taking a pencil and I am using cross-hatching, which is lines crossing over each other to shade these letters. You see that the E has that shading. The more I'm cross-hatching where lines are crossing over each other, the darker it's going to become. And if I'm using cross-hatching somewhere else where I'm spreading it out, it's a little less intense. I can use shading just with a pencil. I can make this look 3-dimensional by shading along the edges, where I'm making it a little darker, and fading it out and decreasing my pressure towards the center. And then when I get to the opposite side of the letter, I'm going to increase my pressure so that that slowly is changing, going across that letter. That's going to make it look three-dimensional. I can also use colored pencil. So I can layer different colors. Here I used, when you're doing a layering technique, you're starting with the lightest color first. You're doing the same technique that I just showed you with the pencil, where you're pushing down hardest along the edges and lighter towards the middle to make it look like it's raised. I'm going to then take other colors and layer them on top of the first color that I used. When you are layering colors, you typically will want to use colors that are in the same family. So if you're using red or pink, you want to use other warm colors like orange or yellow so that it stays within the same family and fits with that color scheme. You can use markers to add patterns. Here I'm using an ultra fine tip Sharpie to do that. So in between these two places, this is some negative space. So positive space would be the lettering, and negative space would be in between. I'm just going to, if you ever done a Zentangle or something like that, where I'm just going to create some kind of pattern where I'm repeating that over and over in the background. So in a way, I'm using line and repetition, which are other principles of art, principles and elements, together to create some kind of unity in the artwork. Okay, so that's another way that you can do it. You can use markers, you can use crayons, you can use colored pencils, you can use watercolor. Any of those materials that you have at home are what you can create. So now at the end of this video, I'm just going to show you some finished ones, and your assignment is just to go and create your word. Then think about the 3 elements that you want to use. So 3 is minimum, you can use more than that, and you're going to create your word design.